All right. Sorry, folks. We had to get coffee and we do a little intro. I don't think we're too far behind. We've got another series in TTL5 Plat. A big one here between FreakinAndy and Sebastian. And we've got Stranded to start it off. Now, Stranded, this is a nomad start. We have changed it ever so slightly. So while it's a nomad start, we make it so the players can almost always find a nice TC spot. Now, in Andy's case, he ends up with 2 elephants right next to his town center. So that's actually insane. So he's got 2 elephants. The wood line's not as good. He's obviously TC'd the gold. And you start, weirdly enough, with a fishing ship before you have the dock on this map. So that ends up leading to very smooth starts because by the time your dock completes, you already had this fishing ship with some food. We've got the Italians for Andy, cheap fishing ships, cheaper up to the next stage. Great civ when incorporating water and land. Then we have Persians for Sebastian, same deal. Both these civs are pretty much even with each other. You start with extra res. TCs and docks have bonuses. And Persians are less of a long-term Navy civ, but this isn't a long-term Navy map. The water is important up until, like, basically mid-Castle Age. So, Sebastian, I know he doesn't have 2 elephants directly next to his TC, but this guy is walking around right now. So, I think he's going to walk back. Basically, elephants or any animals have a wandering range, so they'll wander over a couple tiles. And if a wood line generates where they walk back and forth, they will then walk to the other side of the wood line. So, we'll do it this year as well. We're running a community version of Titans League. So, we'll have the Wood League, the Paper League, the Cardboard League. We'll have leagues for every ELO range. So, if you want to play that, TTLC command in Twitch, we still have over a month until the signups end. But I played, okay? And I'm playing against a community member who's a solid player. He's like 2K. And I'm trying to find an example wood line. Yeah, let's just say this is my wood line, right? But my TC's down here. I had an elephant that was right here. And I went to go get it. And it walked back to the hill. And it was right when I needed it. Like, I needed it right away. And then it just walked away, kind of like this elephant's doing. So it was kind of brutal. Guillermo says, what does the first T in TTL stand for? Well, it's T90 Titans League. But I don't want to come off the wrong way and be like, welcome to T90 Titans League as T90. But that's what the first T stands for. This is a project of mine dating back years and years. To just spread more money around the scene, give players confidence that they can rise up through the ranks, segment the players so we have talented individuals not just dying to the first top 10 player, top 16 they run into two or three rounds in. And this season we've expanded it 100K total prize pool. Silver League is 10K, gold is 25K, platinum is 64K. So I'm really happy with how it's gone. But Sebastian's on the way up. Sebastian's up really fast. It's not cheaper for him. So this is a ridiculous build. He fully abandons food. He has 7 fishing ships behind this. So that's enough food income for villagers. And this feels like a full-on water build. Because he will probably just have a villager or 2 on the gold next to the TC with no need to a mining camp. Let me add the flags here. Sorry. Seem to be a little bit late with that today. And we've got very few players from Uruguay and Austria that are at the top. These would be 2 of the best. FreakinAndy, of course, he is number 2 in Austria because Leary is from Austria. But for Uruguay, there are some other players I know of that are maybe potential for bronze and silver league, but nobody quite like Sebastian here. Does he even know this elephant exists? Because it keeps walking into the darkness there. Look at him. The elephant's playing peekaboo right now. And FreakinAndy's going fast castle, guys. FreakinAndy's brought in another elephant. He's got tons of fishing ships, but I think he's just fully expecting his fishing ships are going to go down. What's crazy, though, is that Sebastian also made a lot of fishing ships on his way to feudal. I wonder how many galleys he actually makes here. Because I think if you predict that Andy's going fast castle, you don't make more than 2 galleys. And then maybe you transition into a barracks and an archer range to pressure him on land. Fast castle from Andy. But I like that because I think Andy's not a player. Sebastian's a player who has such good execution And Sebastian is more of the meta player. He will play whatever is the best for the map, which this build might be. I think Andy's going to have to play some counterplays here. Have some uniqueness, have some sneakiness. But Sebastian's economy is just absolutely flying right now. This is quite a build, and the galleys are on the way now. Yo, Chrisik, welcome back. Thank you. T90, you often speak about players saying top 8 or top 10. Could you enlighten us on what who you think the top 10 players are? Yes, but not right now. That's it. There's definitely... I could say top 5, right? And then it's like, oh, it depends on the day with certain players. I think that would be fun. I think maybe people would enjoy hearing that take every now and then. That can change every 6 months with some. But, yeah, at the moment, I put Sebastian in my top 10. I would maybe put him the 8th to 10 range. If he can sort out the consistency and be a more consistent player, I do think he can be maybe a bit higher than that. But he just doesn't have the results to quite be above that range yet for me. Galleys do exactly what they want, right? They snipe the fishing ship. Now, behind this, Sebastian is going to bring in his elephant. He's dropping the archery range to make a couple archers on land. What Andy was hoping for was he was hoping to get up to castle and then still have his fish alive. So he's on the way up, but he has been found with the additional dock. So he's losing the fishing ships. Also, I think Andy lost a villager to an elephant, guys. It says he has 3 deaths. And Sebastian only has 2 eco deaths, so that doesn't help Andy either. That is not what he would have wanted, and Sebastian is just all over the fish right now. You want some of your fishing ships alive. If you don't have any fishing ships alive, you will have no food eco beyond those 2 water buffaloes. And again, Sebastian's just playing perfect. Like, look at the balance as well. Like, he can click up to Castle Age right behind this. It's crazy. It's just so good. Andy's added a stable. Andy's going to make a scout here. Look around the map a little. See what's out there. Obviously, you have no scout on a nomad start. So I like the addition of the scout. I don't think he'll be able to afford many knights, though. And Sebastian's up. Hera said the best arena players are Hera, Viper, Tato, and Vinchester in that order. Would you agree? The best arena players. Arena specifically. I have to, again, I'd probably have to think on it a little bit. I agree with Vinch being there. If Hera said it, I could understand why Hera would say he's number 1 on Arena. I do think there's an argument that maybe that's one of his weaker maps. Let's be real. I mean, he's still very good on Arena. On Arena, that's a pretty good list. That's a pretty good list. But I think it's underselling a player like Andy. I don't know if I'd put Andy in the top 4, though. Andy's really good on Arena. I think it's a decent list. It's a decent list. I can't disagree too heavily with the list. Andy needs to kill some fishing ships right now. He needs 1 or 2 hero fire galleys with the war galley upgrade to snipe fishing ships. And the war galley upgrade's cheaper for him, but like, this is quite the deficit. Now, Sebastian knows that. Sebastian is tracking this perfectly. So he kills the fire there. He kills the fire there as well. Sebastian is so on point right now. The thing about Sebastian, guys, is he trains so much. He's so well prepped. So he's experienced this before. He has the builds down pat. He knows what the adaptations are going to be. There goes the second TC from Sebastian. I mean, Sebastian's 2k resources collected ahead. The only thing he's missed is this. And that needs to have an effect soon for Andy. And he's doing a nice job. Again, he was able to sneak some fishing ships away. He has the scouts in to get some harassment. But look at Sebastian, man. Nice house walls. Doesn't take any losses there. Protects the town center too. Has the outpost through the middle as well. So there should be no surprises in the middle. Because wood is mainly positioned there. And there's that massive hill, right? Andy is playing full nomad mode. Because he's still on Buffalo. And he's still bringing in elephants, so that's nice. And a lot of the score lead for Sebastian is because he has Navy. But that Navy's over here. Andy's doesn't need this right now. Andy needs to go kill the fish, and he's doing the right thing to run through to find those fishing ships. But Sebastian's also done the right thing. He's redocked the sides for more efficient fishing, so... By the way, for the record, I'm saying fishing space ships. Fishing ships, not fish and chips. I will be casting in London in early April at the Red Bull event. There, I might say fish and chips. But here, I am saying fishing ships. Okay, just, you know, so you guys are aware. Also, it's perfectly normal to say crazy, all right? Like, Sebastian's builds, Sebastian's gameplay here has been crazy. Nothing wrong with that. I should not be judged for using the word crazy when things are indeed crazy. Andy wants a conversion. Ooh, he might. Oh, he gets it. Run, 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 run. That's crazy. That's pretty good, though. He essentially killed off 2 cav archers, but he will lose the monk in the end. But he does have another monk here. Andy is keeping things competitive right now. And Andy with monks is an absolute beast. Monks and siege could be really strong for Andy. I remember that breakout season in Titans League. You had people saying that it was clowny maps in the season. The only person that was making it look, every map looked like arena style was Andy because he kept making so many monks. I think that was the season that had Fractal. But I just don't know if that's a monastery spot you really want to commit to. That camel does get converted. But Andy, he's struggling to control the hill. There's going to be siege from Sebastian. And he's tried to find the fish. I think he maybe killed 1 or 2 of them. But the fish have still shifted around. That's fine now for Sebastian. Now you can transition into other sources of food. Hail is key on this map. T90, in German, the youth word / sentence of the last year was das crazy. The more you know. Ah, okay. I'm just trying to keep up with the youth. That's all it is. Trying to grow the game. Man, I do think this can snowball on Sebastian. He has the eco lead, but you need to have some army momentum. But at the same time, I mean, it's not like Andy really has much momentum either. He's getting a conversion, but he's not keeping his monks alive. But the cav archers haven't even had fletching until now, so there really hasn't been the strongest army. Just a little surprised we didn't see Andy with siege. The reality is, though, he's playing the game on hard mode because Sebastian is 3,000 resources collected ahead. Like, it's always going to be tough to win when someone is this far ahead of you. He lost all of his docks, so he doesn't have that. His opponent has to stay fish now. And the monasteries could just be camped. I really think that what Sebastian should do, and then it's game over, is just camp the monastery with your cav archers. Just sit here, and then ram all these down, and the monks can never hop out. Also, stone on this map, there's very little of it. So you'd have to find multiple of these stone tiles. If you lose the water, you would be denied that stone by the galleys, most likely. And Sebastian's doing the right things here. He's taking down this monastery. He's sitting the cav archers somewhat near where he needs to. He's holding to the hill. Sebastian's in full control. Oh, and perfect micro, too. That's what the hill does for you, but that's what the micro does for you. And now the monks are forced out of the monastery. And now more monks go down. Sebastian putting on a clinic here. And I was impressed even just seeing the feudal age build. I know when Sebastian played, when he qualified for the China land, which obviously I didn't go to or cast, I messaged him afterwards and I said, hey, like, congrats. Sebastian and I go way back. We used to be same level and all that. Playing each other on Voobly when he was going by a different name. And he said, thank you. He said, I trained every day for this. No videos, no streams, no ranked ladder. I've trained for a month. A month. And it paid off for him. And for TTL, made 64k event. At least this particular map, he looked very sharp. Very, very, very sharp. And he looked good. But good is not going to be enough to beat Sebastian here. Yeah, Sebastian's old name was Call Me Subutai, which honestly it was an amazing name. I love that name. But yeah, eventually he like rebranded to Sebastian. How does he train when no ranked? Well, ranked is completely different. Ranked games are not tournament maps. Ranked games don't have a tournament draft. Ranked games don't have best of 5s, best of 7s, and pressure. So ranked is honestly for the majority of high-level players, ranked is good for if you want to make some content or just warm up. But these days, it's treated more like a job for many of these guys. They put in the work of the practice. I'm saying all this. The game's not over yet. Andy has redemption, so he needs his monks to pay off. These monks with these cool little hats, they need every conversion they can. And then he needs his siege to kill the cav archers. Micro from Sebastian is so good. It's so good. And yet, Sebastian just going to hold the hill. Is on stone. So, we're thinking about a castle on the hill. And then if he can get imp, of course, then it's definitely game over. What do we think of the outfits for the monks? Pretty good, right? I would say it's pretty good. Micro there is pretty damn good. Cav archers are over here getting some raids. TC is going down. Monks are going to start to go down to light cav, though. Light cav switch could end the monks. And it just has not been looking good for Andy for a long time. And yeah, Andy taps out, calls the GG. Sorry for the small spoiler there, but I think we all knew Sebastian had this 1-1. And a lot of it comes back to the build order. Because when you go fast feudal like that to pressure, let's look at the timings. When you have a sub 10-minute feudal age time on a nomad start, and then you have a 17-10 castle time on the back of it, that's crazy. Like, typically, the fast feudal guy is maybe up at like 19 minutes or 20 minutes, which gives Andy a lot of time. Because Andy did do well. Andy got the town centers up quickly. He got the monks. But, like, Sebastian got so much value from his early pressure and then backed it up with the perfect eco balance. It was just incredible. Like, the whole game. I'm just going to pan through the whole game past the early portion, right? Just look at res collected. Here he's way ahead. Here he's ahead. Here he's ahead. Here he's ahead. And it's just scaling, right? It's scaling. Now it's 1,000 ahead. Now it's 1,500. Now it's 2K. And I think that's where... This is the point of the game. This is where Andy needs some big swings. So he needed like triple monastery, and then he starts to convert and snowball here. You do that, and then you can siege push from this hill. It gets very messy very quickly. But yeah, that's what Sebastian can do. He's a beast. It's not God save the king. It's God save the queen. The players should have done their homework. This is Regicide mode, and we have a queen. And she's walking around her kingdom. And if she dies, it's game over. This is Regicide. Most notably, it starts with Regicide resources, okay? Which means you do not have gold in the bank. That's a very niche thing. With Regicide resources, you start with a lot of food. That's how their food count is so high. You start with 150 stone, and you start with no gold. Which, on a map where you could potentially send villagers to the middle, can be a big deal because you can't get loom. So, Sebastian's gone Cumans, and he's got 13 villagers right now. And I guess his plan is to go for a second town center. You start with pre-built farms here. You start with the water buffalo. You have lots of food available. If you want stone, though, you do need to chop through these trees, and each tree is 200 wood. But Sebastian seems to understand that. He's focusing down that tree. So maybe he wants to be through, and Andy's scout is trapped. Wow, Andy was just doing a little circle around to double check, and Andy's scout is trapped. What a play from Sebastian. And the big deal here is he doesn't have loom, but if he brings his own scout through, I think he can be okay. His own scout needs to be here. He could lose a villager or two. Like, this trap could end up hurting him. I'm not sure why his scout... Okay, his scout is pushing the deer. I mean, Andy's getting 2 additional vills with the Bengalis when he clicks up here, and Andy is adding a couple fishing ships. So, I mean, if Andy kills a villager here and loses a scout, that's fine. I think he'll be completely satisfied with that. Okay, Sebastian's up. The scout comes through. And Andy should immediately try and trade. He actually has the scout advantage. But now the villager will be here. And that should be a dead scout for Andy. Micro from Sebastian is patient. And micro from Sebastian is good. Well played. Well played. He'll drop the second TC. How much scouting actually happened here for Sebastian, I wonder? Okay, see, he hasn't scouted the middle. Queen is going to do the job there. And now there's fishing ships, and there's 2 villagers there. But, you know, the scout is weak, so he can't use the scout to kill those vills. That's so interesting. That's actually kind of good for Andy, guys. Because he lost his scout, he won't lose these 2 vills. Now, Sebastian can be really annoying and attack the fishing ships. But I don't think the fishing ships are really that big a deal anyways. I'm a little surprised that Andy didn't immediately go fast castle here. Like, normally you want to just go fast castle. I guess maybe he saw value in the middle water. He's actually going to add a galley, which I guess secures the middle, and he doesn't have to stress about it as much. And Queen's still moving around for Sebastian. Second town center just now completes. And yeah, it's 2 TC boom. This is the only civ that can build the second town center in feudal age. This civ either looks amazing or horrible with no in between. You have to know how to manage it. And here comes the galley. I'd be laughing if I'm Sebastian. If my opponent added a galley for these turtles, I'd be like, huh? But if you kill the scout, it's huge. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, he didn't notice. He didn't notice. That's a big deal. That is a big deal. Now both players are in the dark. Now Sebastian doesn't know. Will Andy come forward with a forward siege workshop and monks over here? It is now a scoutless game, and all you have is your queen. Some queens will wander the world, see what there is to find, report back to the nation. Other queens are going to be fat and lazy like the kings, and they're going to be inside the tower. Which one would you be? Would you be adventurous? Or would you be lazy and hanging out on the top of your tower watching someone talk about a 22-year-old video game? Hi. Actually, did I say 22? Isn't it more like 27? I'm not going to say what I think my chat would be. I'm going to let you guys say what you would be yourself. All right? Seems like most of you guys are very self-aware. That's why I hate it when people aren't self-aware. I don't care who you are, as long as you understand what the situation is. I'm happy with it. Okay, Sebastian, do not get your queen trapped. Sebastian, I swear to God, this is stressing me out. Sebastian, do not go. Sebastian, that is your life. Okay, he almost went through there. That could have been so bad. Man, I would have lost my mind. Oh, I think he was messing with me. If I were a player, I would do that, and then I would go back and I would rewatch everyone's reactions. I've definitely done that before if I know people are casting my games. I might like place a farm in a corner or something just to see if the memes are there. All right, Sebastian sees the tower. The tower is always fixed on the front, and he sees the flag, which just means the other queen is in there. That's all. But yeah, Andy's going to be up. He isn't through to the stone yet. Still keeping an eye on these trees. That's 25 wood left. That one's 50 wood left. When he gets back here, he could look around. Perhaps find the stone. But look at the vill count for Sebastian. And not only the vill count, guys, but he's got a barracks. He's adding a stable. So he could potentially go for some scouts. It's still making me nervous how adventurous he is being with this queen. But just live your life, I guess. Please do not get trapped. Please, even there, that stresses me out. Yeah, the fortified palisades you start with here do start with extra HP for the Cumans. So a normal fortified palisade wall is 500, and the Cumans, I think, is 600. Oh, it's 667, at least in feudal, so. Okay, Andy wants to push because he needs to pressure this 2TC boom. And so he's dropping a barracks. He also has 2 villagers this way. He's getting loom. And he's dropping the monastery. We have something coming from Sebastian on the left side. And what in the world? Not the villagers, but Lieutenant Dan. Lieutenant Dan. 50 gifted subs. Dude, you are way too good to me. Thank you. Thank you. Salutes. And if you unfortunately did not receive a sub and you were very unlucky, you can just say dodged. Are they both going to siege push the other right now? Because that's crazy. Sebastian has scouts, though, so Sebastian could maybe find this. Sebastian doesn't see it, though. Sebastian does not see this. Now, Andy, he added the barracks, so he'll have spearmen, but... Oh, there's the queen. Dude, she's just zooming. I don't trust this guy with this queen, man. But hey, she's taking some damage, but that's fine. Nothing like good old battle scars. And now she found the forward. And we have a siege elephant on the way. We've got spearmen, we've got monks, and things are going to get interesting. But there's also a siege workshop from Sebastian, and he saw the gold, guys. So he could actually pressure the gold with the mangonel. That, in and of itself, is already fine. Lady! Lady, get in your tower! My queen, you mustn't scout for the people, for you are very important. What? She cannot help herself. It's stressing me out. I swear, if he runs into a town center back here, this is about to get really messy. He's going to be pressuring with the siege. He's going to be getting pressured by the siege. So, like, oh my God. Now, there's a chance, because players aren't used to queens, that they don't think this is valuable. But we put it in, like, we made an announcement on the maps. Like, there's information out there. And I was talking about how Sebastian is probably prepped. There have been instances where queens did not count for anything, like, in terms of your life, in other custom maps in the past. But we clarified this point. It's a 50-50 chance on queens or kings. It should be known. Andy getting a little greedy there. He really wanted to snag that relic. But he has pushed Sebastian off that gold. Sebastian still has this gold. Sebastian still has not moved with his mangonels. The queen is still moving. There's no auto scout with the queen. So that is just all manual control. And she seems to be coming home now, but I still don't trust her. Okay, another monk gets picked off there. Ville count's pretty close, though. And it is now 3 town centers for Andy. Sebastian still only has 2. Sebastian gets to clear up on the mangonel. And Sebastian's mangonels and a lycav are here. Andy might want to wall that. You might just wall that opening so he can't run through. I still really like Andy's spot. I think having 3 town centers and having access to stone is really good. Queen is coming home. And the push isn't exactly making progress, but it doesn't need to now because your economy is looking pretty good. But you're still normally under a little bit of pressure. Oh, guys, I'm so stressed. Should we be worried, Queen? Okay, she's shaking her head. No, she has a lot of confidence. That's crazy. I'm not even one to talk. I once almost ran my king into an enemy castle in a Regicide start. I took damage from the enemy castle and then ended up saving the king and somehow winning the game. I was playing licks as well, so it was like... would have been a little embarrassing. I'll never forget, though, I rewatched someone casting that. And freaking Nikov was in their chat. And Nikov was like, for all the times that T90 has said, like... you know, for all the times T90 has said not to do this, he deserves to lose his king right now, right? And he was not wrong. That's definitely what I deserved. Mangonel, what is this army? Oh, Sebastian! Sebastian just killed his only defense for the mangonels. Oh, no. Oh, the micro from Andy. Oh, no. Well, Redemption's in. And, well, Siege Push is dead. Siege Push is dead. 67 vills for Andy, which is more than Sebastian has. The score is just higher because Sebastian ends up having Sebastian ends up having the scouting. But Andy's kind of chilling here, I think. This is a very adaptable situation. He tries to save his monk again. He'll lose yet another monk to the light cav. But here he has a monk that could get yet another conversion. That was 3 mangonels gone for Sebastian. He ended up deleting the final 2, obviously. If the light cav gets converted, that's actually a problem too. But it seems like he's not able to pay attention. And the monk gets stuck. On the current patch, your monks will just freeze up and get stuck. Wait, what the? He got the light cav. The monk is running away. He's running away from the ram. Light cav goes down. Run, monk. Run. Light cav is on the way. Over here, we had a monk go down. A spearman get converted. This is getting pretty crazy. But Andy's dropping a castle towards the middle, guys. And Andy's going to start to make Ratha. And Ratha are very strong. And the freaking queen is still standing there. Eventually, Andy's going to send something this way. And I think the game's gotten so busy, Sebastian has just completely forgotten about her. Ugh. This is a fun map. First time we've had this in a couple days. What are your thoughts, guys? I like it. It's super interesting. We've seen feudal age builds. We've seen fast castle builds. We've seen heavy army. We've seen heavy eco. We've kind of seen a mix of everything. Andy is so good if he has a monastery. He's always going to have a chance to convert you and frustrate you and take your focus. Sebastian is 15k gold. He might need a market at some point. Andy still has the Bengali monks chasing. He's also building another town center in the north. He's taking a lot of the berries. And he's not really farming as heavily. But he is going to start to make Ratha. And Ratha in melee mode can beat the light cav. And this starts to get a little dangerous. I'm not sure the Cumans have the best answers for the Ratha as well long term. But obviously 2 monks is fine. Did I say 15,000 gold? Well, it might as well be 15,000 gold because he's not spending 2,000 gold. So I didn't mean 15k. I meant 1,500. Just testing you guys. Okay, queen is on the move. Please go into your tower. Or I don't even trust town center because sometimes you send them out by mistake. The tower is there for this purpose. And luckily for Sebastian, he's noticed. But luckily for the queen, she got some fresh air, you know? What she wouldn't have had if she was stuck inside that tower. Nice clear up here from Sebastian. Took a while, but finally ends up clearing up the monastery. We'll also end up getting this relic, and then we'll have this relic too. And there's also this relic down here, so we could end up having the fair share of the relics. One of them is over here, though. So Andy could always get that back. And queen is in the tower. All right. Still wonder, what on earth is the military going to be for Sebastian? What is he going to spend his gold on here? Is he going to spend his gold? Because he's climbing up towards 15k gold. He's about to be at 3. Finally, the market's coming up. Because he just needs to go up to imp. If he balanced his resources a little bit earlier, he could be imping. Or he could have been imping. Andy clearly is not thinking he has to win this game quickly by these castles. I think he could have easily placed that castle on the front and been aggressive. But I believe he thinks his civ is superior, and so he's playing defensive. And just passing there, he misses that monk, but he will get to the gold. Will have ballistics with fletching, at least. And yeah, I just... What's the military going to be? Oh, God, the Ratha actually get through. There's a hole. Some nice harassment here from Andy. He has melee and ranged mode, so he can still just sit there and do some damage. In the north, there's some light cav raids, but that's been spotted. There's a villager over here building an outpost. And now Andy kind of gets trapped here. But Sebastian has very little army. Like, the army for Andy is still going to get good value. He's killing vills. He could just still use the ranged attack at any point in time. I guess the Ratha are not all here, though, for Andy. He's sitting back with the monks as well. I think he could have actually denied this castle. I think Andy has a lot of eco-fixing to do right now. And he's starting to send Ratha around this way. Thank God the queen is gone. Sebastian is getting ranged upgrades, so it feels like his game plan is to play skirm. But man, 50 on food for Sebastian. Now things are looking more balanced. And having the outpost here is super nice because you have a warning. The downside is you can't stonewall as the Cumans. And Andy can stonewall. He'll stonewall this segment. He'll stonewall this segment so he can never be raided there. And it is still only one castle for Sebastian. So if Andy were to raid over here right now, it's very open, very doable. He just doesn't know. Feels like Andy has to win this game. Just with how competitive the group is. And just with how Titans League tends to play out. If you get swept, very tough for you to recover. It's still doable, of course, but it puts you under that much more pressure. At least getting one win. Could still be two, of course. And you can go places. Andy's economy is going to be ridiculous. He has 136 vills, but then you get 2 extra vills from every town center. So he'll be at 150 something. Nice conversion from Sebastian. There are some positives. He will probably lose this relic, but for now it's 4-1. And he's in the Imperial Age already. But he can't push with it. So he's getting imp, and it's pretty much imp for chemistry. He's going to try Kipchecks. Do we like Kipchecks here? Who wins, Kipcheck or Ratha, guys? I actually have never... Well, no, that's not true. I have seen it. The Kipchecks actually have a bit of a window, I feel. Because I remember a couple Fortresside Regicide... Fortresside Regicide, wow. Fortified Regicide, shoot. What is it? Regicide, Fortress, thank you. I remember a couple Regicide Fortress games. I think Kipchecks are underrated. I think it might also be just the best option for Sebastian. If he wasn't doing this, he would have to just go pure Paladin, which might be a little too predictable. But now he has some range units out. Resources are still insanely good for Andy, and he is stonewalling the entire map. Look at the fortifications. Damn. I mean, there's a non-zero chance that we see Elite Cannon Galleon in the middle on this map with the way this is playing out. Fortified wall for Andy. Let's go. The devs who put time and effort into creating these techs back when the game was made are really enjoying this right now. Because we're seeing every tech. Obviously, Cumans are a bit new. They're Newman. But, yeah, I mean, I still like to see Cuman Merc... Oh, no, that's a horrible tech. Never mind. Don't get that. That's more of a team tech. He already got Step Husbandry, so that's nice. And he wants to raid. He wants to raid. And he can only do that if Andy has gaps in his walls. And for now, Andy has gaps in his walls. I think this is a huge raid for Sebastian. Andy's got to chase. He's playing Tetris back here to stop the Hussars from getting into the back. I still think there's a gap there, though. Yeah, there's still a gap there, and he finds it. So now all the Ratha have to run back there. And now Sebastian can storm the front. I'd love to see Sebastian playing around Siege Ram and taking down these walls on the sides. He can see them there. But I love the amount of stone that Andy's able to take right now. Andy's still super late on techs. He has Elite Ratha, but he doesn't have Pakes yet, so the Rathas are not maxed. He didn't even have Bracer for a while. Clearly, the comp that he's going to go for, though, is very strong. He wants Halb and he wants Ratha, and he's got the castles to produce them. But nice raid there from Sebastian. Nice shot from Andy to clear it up. Andy had the villagers to lose. After watching Tato play with Siege Ram earlier, I just can't help but feel like that's completely underrated in Sebastian's mind right now. If he went pure Kipcheck and Siege Ram instead of the Hussars, I feel like he could have broken the front line. More docks from Andy. So I think he understands how important cannon galleons can be. Sebastian's so late with the siege. 1 trebuchet against Andy? I mean, that might as well be gift wrapped in a box saying happy birthday. Like, that's a gift. That's a gift. You need to wait for more trebuchets than that. Slowly, the buildings for Sebastian on the left side are getting taken out. And now I have to check if Bengalis get heavy demo. They don't get heavy demo. Unfortunately for us, they don't get heavy demo. Sebastian has hit a wall, literally and figuratively. What does he do? He has to push. We might see all the golden stone taken on this map. There's golds here, which is currently neutral. That needs to be fought over. And there's going to be gold here. And that will be Sebastian's for the time being. But Andy's got cannon galleons. Andy's got his Ratha. They're about to be fully upgraded because he just completes the Pikes upgrade. Bit confusing because he's going for pikeman units and getting the Pikes or Pikes tech, but you know what I mean. And I just don't know if this is enough for Sebastian. Sebastian has to hit and run. And it's an uncomfortable feeling when you need something to dive for those trebuchets and the cannon galleons. Andy was patient. Andy's waited for the trebs. Meanwhile, we just have one treb from Sebastian. He needs more over here because he has to take the castle and then he has to take the wall. There's also a castle here from Andy, which means he can treb that castle from behind the wood line. Andy lives for these moments. He's getting Mahayana now. Huge tech. That's pretty expensive too. Villagers and monks take up 10% extra population space. That's extra huge for Andy because he loves his monks. We'll always have some monks around. Guys, the castle in front of the queen has been taken down. 10% less. Sorry, not more. Thank you once again, chat, for correcting me. Where would I be without you? Thank you. I think Sebastian's struggling on the front lines. I think he's forgetting about his queen. His population is still really good. I'm just not sure if the army comp is good enough. Now he's corrected the problem that he had before. Because he is going to have trebs now. He went from 1 trebs, he's going to have 8. The walls do give Andy a lot of time, but he might need to wall more. I'd like to see Sebastian consider deleting a couple vills. It seems crazy, but maybe if he can get more military, he can beat this. The queen, where'd she go? The queen is in the town center. Okay. The queen has moved. Oh, but the trebs! The trebuchets! Yikes! Well, the trebs will survive. What about the Kipcheks, though? What about the Kipcheks? Kipchek v Ratha. Ratha have switched to melee mode. I think the Kipcheks did okay. Honestly, I think they did okay there. But is okay good enough? I think you did the job, though. You took down the castle. Your castle's still standing. You could fall back. You are still getting pushed on the front, though. There's still trebuchets moving forward from Andy. Andy has just been so willing to wait until this stage of the game, to get to this stage of the game. Seemingly so confident his comp is just superior, and maybe it is. I still makes me sad Sebastian doesn't even have +2 attack on the light cab, though, on the Hussar. He's just struggled with the timings on the siege and the upgrades this game. I'd love to see Andy. He could actually make trebuchets from out here and maybe start to take this castle down. But really, forget that. Just take this area. You break the front of Sebastian's base and everything else is wide open. I don't know if you guys can hear it as easily as I can, but you'll hear these monks in the group just slowly healing all the time too. That's always something. Like that's not something that enough players do, is mix in a couple monks to heal up. Elite Cannon Galleon has been researched. Like, that's been in for a minute here. But the fact that we have that and Galleon for a puddle is just another unique play from Andy. Maybe Sebastian starts to think about the King Snipe. Guys, he can see the tower with the flag right there. He has the trebs. I think you go for it. Right there. He saw it. He was reminded of it. He does also get a raid here. But he's still losing this castle. And trying his best to push back the middle. Feels like the melee mode, Ratha, once that switch is flipped, Sebastian's just got to back up. And every time Sebastian backs up, he loses a castle. Honestly, though, there's not a lot of gold for Andy. He can mine this gold, but he is running dry because he lost the vills here too. So he does need to be careful of that. Getting these techs has been expensive, and it's arguable whether or not it's worth it to get Galleon. Elite Cannon Galleon, I guess, made sense. Kip checks are really cheap and cost-effective. There's 14k gold on the map. Some of that was over here for Sebastian. He will lose those vills. He could lose a Treb. There's still the gold up here, actually, which I assume Andy doesn't see. No, he does. Yeah, it's all these golds right there that are so important. Raids got cleared up. Maybe a rewall is needed for Andy. Andy will take the Treb. It'll be one Trebuchet again for Sebastian. Sebastian is not giving up. Castle here and castle here. So yeah, we asked the players to play a little bit earlier today because I have a flight to catch. And we have 3 sets to do. Thank God we did. Because this game is going to be insanely long. Big fight here for Sebastian. There's a lot of halbs in there, though. He's sniping the Ratha. But there's always halbs, there's always skirms, and the Kip checks are such a fragile unit compared to the Ratha. The Ratha have 135 HP. The Kip checks have 65. They are made of paper. And Trebuchet taking down a Sebastian Castle where the gold is on the left. And Andy's on both of these golds right now. But he does need to be careful. The skirms are good against Kip checks, but the Hussars are good against the skirms. So the ratios have to be there. Andy's setting up for the late game here, getting crop rotation. I still want to see a siege ram play from Sebastian. But maybe he doesn't have the gold for it anymore. Because the Rams cost gold. I don't think 3 relics to 2 is enough to when you're missing out all the gold on the map. Big fight. Sebastian, he just cannot beat this. He cannot retake this area. But at the same time, like, he's not being raided, so they could continue this cycle forever. Andy is going to use villagers against a Treb right now, and it's going to work. It's working. Treb will go down, castle will stay up. Andy still has the Trebuchet over here, taking down this castle as well, which I guess Sebastian hasn't noticed, and the halbs have always been there to protect. Sebastian's looking at his pop. He's like, I'm 190 pop. I shouldn't resign. But it feels like he could do nothing against this right now. Ratha Halb, Ratha Skirm. Just so strong. And yeah, if there was a window for the Kip checks, I think it was early Imperial Age. I think he needed to push. Another castle from Andy means he can tread from there onto these castles and get into the back. Sebastian's still dropping castles in the back. But pretty soon, the only castles you're going to have are on the edge of the map. You're going to run out of wood at a certain stage, too. There is some wasted pop for Andy. So that Navy's like 10 or so pop that doesn't really help out continuously here. But I think that's acceptable when you have the Mahayana tech. That's completely fine. And still, remember, Andy's got golds here. Andy can now take this gold. But he's had all the other golds, and Sebastian taps out finally. The Queen does live, but she ends up resigning. Andy gets his win. That was a good game. That was a really fun game. I think for Sebastian, this wasn't a bad Civ choice, because it's really hard to compete with Andy on a map like this. And getting the guaranteed Vill lead is good. I also like the fact that he added Scouts. I think Scouts is an excellent addition. He was able to compete for map control. At one point, had 4-to-1 relics. But he couldn't stop Andy from getting to the Ratha. And I think he lacked a vision on what units to make. Like, Andy, it became very clear. Andy's like, I'm committing to Ratha here. I'm going to wall. I'm going to win. And Sebastian, he clicked up to Imp. And at that point, he really didn't have any army or upgrades. So, I think if he tried Paladin, you do get fully upgraded Paladin. It would have been very obvious. And Andy would have just added Halbs and added monks. But I really think, as I know you want to play Hussar here, but I really think Kipchek, Siege Ram, you take down the docks and the castles on the front. You have Andy, you take down those barracks there so he can't make Halbs. Then you can go Hussars. I actually think Siege Ram Kipchek had the potential there. But he just didn't do a very good job at making siege when he needed to either, right? He was super late with the Trebs with the early push. And then by the time he made the trebs, Andy was just sniping them. So 1-1 as advertised. Good series here. Here we are, game 3. Again, a look at this group. It's very much early days, but those are the names we're talking about. And whoops, misclicked. I'm so sorry. I clicked the wrong button. That's another group. Now I'm second guessing myself. It's this one, right? Yes. Okay. So we got ACCM, Lewis, FreakinAndy, Nikov, and Running, and Sebastian in this group. Lewis is a promoted player who looked very sharp. ACCM is a player who's always very sharp. Nikov has been around. Nikov was top 4 last season. Running is usually very prepared. So you want to be the player who gets the second win here. And Sebastian's gone for Incas. Now, Dragonstar the other day went for super early barracks, lots of militia in a lot of those games. I think it's viable with Incas, but he's not going to do it before a lumber camp. Neither is Andy. But Andy's on with 2 on wood and only 4 on food right now. So he's definitely tried to go for an early barracks. He's hoping to get villagers on wood faster than he would typically. He's really hoping to get the timing on this deer right, because that sheep is at 40 food right now. So I'm streaming on YouTube right now, as well as on Twitch, right? And happy to do it. There was a period where I had an exclusive contract with Facebook, which if you weren't there, it sounds like a little bit of a joke, but that's actually true. For 2 years, I did stream on Facebook. And I really appreciate everyone who supported me there, or at the very least understood and continues to support me now. And I did enjoy my time there, but there were some issues with that platform, which we're not going to get into. Beyond one thing, they had like anti-hate measures on their platform, which is good. You don't want people to, be hateful. However, when we were hating Age of Empires civilizations, people would get banned sometimes. So like if you're like, I hate Bengalis. Bengalis are the worst. Well, without the context, that's pretty bad. And Facebook probably shouldn't have allowed that, right? So just the chatter, Garrett just brought up, he's like, dude, I'm so happy I could say I hate the Bengalis now without getting banned. It was so funny. Like I was disappointed because it was really hard for me to get people unbanned, if not impossible. But at the same time, I couldn't help laugh at it. Because it's just, yeah, I just thought it was funny, Anyways, Andy's gone for the early barracks. Sebastian's going to come over here and go for the mill. FreakinAndy already checked this side. And he might have caught a glimpse of Sebastian pushing in that deer, but we'll see how thoroughly he checks. Typically, guys, you're checking how many does he have on wood, where's the gold, where's his barracks, has he gone for a mill yet on his berries. But now you have 2 other areas to check that are on opposite sides of the map. And this is the key area for Andy to go. If he's going to rush, he needs to know where to pressure. He scouted, he didn't see anything here. He's now going to check here. And Sebastian will have loom. And he will have 4 villagers. But Sebastian does not know this army is coming. And maybe he will assume this. How many vills is he bringing this way? Okay, that was a misclick. Normally, the max you're going to bring over here is 4. But because he misclicked there, that was 4 villagers that were walking instead of collecting food. Now here comes Andy. Thank you, Fivets, for the prime. Yeah, I think Andy will struggle to kill villagers here because Sebastian's really nice at fighting back, and it's 4 versus 3. But taking down the rabbits is nice. Now, you could still eat them after they're taken down by the militia, but they slowly decay, and that adds up. So, smart from Andy. Just take this down. This would be far more brutal, of course, if it was 2 years ago. These days, if you lose your rabbits to military, you could still eat them, but the decay is enough where some of these rabbits now are down to 70 food from 75. And I think Andy should have a decent enough economy behind this. I'm a little confused, though. He's got 2 villagers on gold. 2 villagers on gold makes it feel like he's going to make way more than 3 militia. If you wanted to make 3 militia, you could send 1 vill to the gold and just walk back, and then you get the 60 gold you need, right? So, The build isn't exactly sharp by my standards. But I still think with being Japanese, he could make this work. And maybe he could end up taking a fight against these villagers with more militia here. So, Agent Mater, first time on this first chatter, says, are you able to rename buildings the same way you can rename military? Yes, I can rename everything in the game. So if you would like to be renamed after Sebastian's mill, all I ask is you sub or resub, and you can become this mill. Hey, and the mill will probably survive. Sometimes we name you after a weak villager. Villager doesn't survive. So that's a steal right there. Guys, Andy is so focused on this. He has never scouted the barracks from Sebastian. He doesn't know Sebastian is here with man-at-arms. He has just completely missed it. He is focused on everything that he wants to do, and he is not focused on what Sebastian could be doing. These villagers are in trouble. All right, we're going to name this mill Randy in a second. Thank you, Randy. Thank you, Doctor, for the gifted subs. Sebastian, okay, kills one vill. Andy also killed one villager. So it could be worse, and Andy's pretty good with damage control. I think Andy sometimes takes a little too much damage, but he's really good with stabilizing. There he overextended. That's another dead vill. Beautiful opening from Sebastian. But now Sebastian, he did place a tower foundation here, which isn't exactly great. We got more militia here, and now his villagers are weak. So both players surprising the other. And it's Japanese now, too, so Andy has the faster attack speed. Oh, look at the hit and the block. That's so sick. Oh, and he can get another one, too. That should be... Oh, Sebastian's blocking with the vill. Run, militia, run. One more hit and it's dead, but he can't get to it. Okay, how you balance your eco, how quickly you could get your upgrades in, all are the key right now. Because their economies are brutal. I think for Andy, it's better because he has the mill on the berries at least. Sebastian doesn't have that yet. So Sebastian doesn't have the food. What's his name? What's the mill's name? Randy? This is what I have to do for subs? Fine. There we go. Mill is Randy. Yeah, Capture Age lets me name anything. So technically we could go through and give every villager a name. I wish that could be automatic. I wish we could have it pull from Twitch chat. Imagine if every unit that spawned in a game got given a name from Twitch chat. That would be interesting. Sebastian will check the left side. He's sending his man-at-arms and Eagle over there now. There's a lot over there from Andy. Sebastian already has 2 archers. Andy was late to his archer range. Andy is ignoring this for now. T90, do you pay extra for custom capture age? Yes. In fact, a lot of the features that are at main capture age, I funded like this, and the top 3 units, all those were basically agreement with me at capture age. I'll pay to make it happen. Community benefits. There's also a couple things that are only mine. So the naming thing is just kind of a cheesy thing. It's not really that important, but I think that's only mine. So we've got it. Andy really needs to fight this back with his vills. I think if he's not Japanese there, I think he has a bigger problem. But even though his man-at-arms were weaker, he's able to have the attack speed to hold. They'll trade archers down. The man-at-arms going to go down. And Andy's in an okay position here, guys. Still could go either way, though. KD's very close. How many subs to rename Andy to Randy? I'm not going to rename a player, no. This is... I like the jokes, I like the memes, but Andy's got his reputation. He's a pro, so I'm not going to do that. But I also said I would never stream on Facebook, so I suppose I could be swayed. Highly doubted, though. Archers are coming this way. Andy's being very casual about this tower. If he was building this with all of his villagers, he's probably fine. Oh, God. I mean, you got to force it down, I think. You just got to click. Because if you run, you're going to lose the vills anyways. He doesn't see it. This is so bad for Andy. This is so good for Sebastian. Just the consistent follow-up from Sebastian. He's here so quickly with the army. The tower gets denied. The villagers are getting blocked. And, oh, man, Sebastian should get at least one more. I think it's possible he gets 2 more, but the one on the backside should be focused down by the archers. Maybe. Yeah, he should die. Maybe. He's dead. That's so sick. That's so good. Andy needs some counter damage, but Sebastian needs to be waiting for that. He needs to be looking for it. He sees it, and now Andy is here. And now it's Andy's turn to get villagers. He'll get at least one. He still is walling at home. He still needs more range units. What a game. This is such a messy slopes game. And there's still exposed areas here. The way that Sebastian wanted to play this was one range and then balance out his resources to go to Castle Age. But if you try and play one range in a games like this, your eco's just a complete wreck. I actually think 2 archer ranges make a lot of sense right now for both. And I also think the fact that Andy is, for the most part, walled up makes life a lot easier for him. Because Sebastian's base is still wide open. Game's close right now, guys. Could go either way. Eco upgrades are even. Military upgrades are about to be even. And Andy doesn't know that Sebastian's army is still here. He will find out in a second. And Andy will run over this way. Neither player can build a tower for their gold or anything because they towered elsewhere. Archer micro over here. And Archer micro in the back as well. Has to be perfect. I would normally prefer Sebastian's Archer micro over Andy's. Andy's micro is more than capable, though. It's nice patience there. Nice patience here as well. 42 pop for both. Obviously, I guess that changes because the man-at-arms going down. This is so close. Andy with 5 on food, but he's dropping the market. He'll start to buy some food. Sebastian has more farms, but he has less on berries. So that makes that even. Sebastian is mixing in the occasional eagle and the occasional skirm. Sebastian will not be able to stop Andy from taking this food now. There's not a ton left, but it's enough to probably go out here. You're going to have the tower foundation fixed there anyways. Ooh, man. What a game. Castle Age could make a big difference here. Sebastian spending food on skirmishers, which is perfect against archers, but that does delay your Castle Age time. Not as much.
Yes.
Not as much, because it's cheaper to make the skirmishers with the Incas, but it does still delay it. We had a bit of a lag there for one of them, so we're just getting back into it. Nice micro over the last minute or so for Andy. I would put my weak archers inside of the tower. That feels like a really nice little idea there. But then I would probably I'd move out with the strong archers, and then I would lose them all. But no, based on what we know, you might want to just heal them up and wait for Castle Age. But you don't want to wait at all. The more you wait at this level, the more your opponent's going to come and hit you in another angle. So Andy wanted to go raid, but Sebastian finds him, and Andy needs to get to that tower now. He's double-checking the farm count, because farms are the consistent food eco. There's 8 for Andy, so that's not amazing. But the archer count's still healthy. He can fall right back to the tower. That's really nice micro. To not lose any archers to this is really good micro. So easy with those weak units there. Again, I'd put the weak ones in the tower. Just sit in the tower, you get free arrows, and then you get a little bit of HP back too. Man-at-Arm tried to run through. Sneaky guy. He goes down. How many subs to change your name? Ask somebody. Too many. Too many. I really should change myself to T93 so people... that makes a little bit more sense. People don't foresee that I'm named after a shoe. But too late for change. On other maps, I'd really like to see Incas build towers everywhere. It's super cheap for towers, so at least having a tower on a woodline or something here for Sebastian could be good. And he's just running right through the middle of the map, guys. He only has 8 units, but these 8 units can get value. Curious if he'll upgrade them, though, because I see a Cav Archer queued up, and I see a couple Knights queued up, and I see the second town center now. No, I was not named after the Russian tank. I didn't know it was a tank. I didn't think about it. I didn't expect to have a community. You understand this, right? Just like, some other usernames in chat. They probably didn't think that anyone would ever really pay attention to what their name was. There's some weird ones out there. But yeah, apparently Nike is coming back out with the T90 line of cleats and boots and whatnot stuff again. So I've been hearing that. So hopefully there's no... if Nike ever asks, guys, it's because I've named myself after the tank. Those are the rules. You guys have to have my back. Yeah, Andy is hoping to catch some vills on the sides, which he won't find. But he's been on 2 TCs for a while here. The issue for him is Sebastian's army can give him some real problems, and he doesn't have a way to counter that. So that is a healthy number of crossbowmen right there. And the gold is exposed for Andy. The wood could be exposed. There's so many areas to lock down on this map. And Andy's done no damage with this army. And I just feel like unless Andy towers this gold, he's going to have some real headaches here. He just sold some stone, actually, to get more gold for cav archers. Japanese cav archers are a good unit, but not against 14 crossbows, and he needs to leave the gold now. One villager decided to path towards her death. So now you probably need to sell even more if you're Andy to get more cav archers. It's the similar problem we had in that game with Winchester and Hart yesterday. Getting to cav archers on this map is so difficult. Because it takes so long to mass them. And typically my tip, that's funny. Typically the advice would be, if you're in Castle Age faster, you can go for cav archers because it gives you time to mass them. But he's in Castle Age significantly faster. He still has not had the time. Andy's being pushed away over here by some crossbows. Andy's being chased down here by some skirmishers. Andy did complete another TC. But again, that doesn't really fully give him access to that gold. Lots of inefficiencies on the eco. He will bring some cav archers and some knights this way. If he can ever match the archer count with the cav archer count, it is an easy clear up for Andy. And he's got a nice villager lead. And he's got a healthy eco. He's got good upgrades. He's now counterattacking too. This is nice because he can engage against this. But now Sebastian feels like he's not getting value. And Sebastian will have to come home. I like this damage from Andy. That's really good work. And that relieves a little bit of the pressure. He's really good at that. Because you convince yourself right there, if you're Sebastian, that he must have gold somewhere else. And there's no sense in denying it. But he doesn't. Maybe he's thinking he's over here with the TC or something. But he's not. Yo, Inns Games, thanks for the prime. Welcome in. He says he showed up just to support. He doesn't have time to watch right now. Can we get some legend spams in chat for Inns Games? Thank you, man. The emote says leg end, but that's because we can only make the emotes so big. So you're either the end of a leg or you're a legend. Either way, thank you. Thank you. Andy keeps looking at this. He keeps expecting Sebastian to come over here. And it's a pretty important area for gold unless you move to the front. There is still lots of gold and stone towards the front. The Vil count's still rising for Andy. He's been on 3 town centers for a while. Cav archer count is not actually rising. He has not mined any gold in a really long time. We have another pause. I think Sebastian's internet is not cooperating with him right now. Isn't a leg end a foot? I guess it is, but the emote is legend. All right. Look at the overall worker efficiency. Down bottom left. Last minute, it's been better for Sebastian. And overall, it's been better for Sebastian, which makes sense because Andy's been moving around. But it's just crazy how adaptable he is to the awkward timings that can happen in these games. Like, I would be so dead to that crossbow timing, but he's chilling. Mangonel there. We'll force that away. We'll drop a tower here. He consistently plays really low army. Sebastian needs to punish him for that. Sebastian's going for forward siege. Oh, Andy just misses the shot. Does Sebastian see that? Sebastian does see that. Well played. And also snipes the cav archer too. He also is coming this way. He'll take these cav archers as well. Maybe now Sebastian can consider a town center over here. Andy's clearing up those extra archers. Like, look, we got 4 cav archers. We got 2 knights. We got 2 archers. We got 2 mangonels. Like, what is Andy's plan? FreakinAndy needs a freaking plandy, bro. He needs, I guess, a castle. But a castle where? A castle for what? Like, is Samurai the play here? And he sees the siege now, at least. He's got time to sort that out. He's got time to figure that one out. But if he wanted a forward castle, that is just not possible anymore. I would maybe place a castle up here, but if you do that, you're not even protecting... Okay, there we go. You're not really protecting any stone or gold anymore. Well, so here comes Sebastian. Sebastian's looking with 1 crossbow to see what's going on up there. He'll see the castle foundation. He's camping here. He's camping here. He's also taking a fight here. He really caught Andy off guard there. Andy was looking right in this area. Andy's looking at the siege too, which Sebastian's not looking at. Sebastian's like, I'm killing him. And Sebastian's like, oh. And now Andy's like, oh. And now Sebastian is also happy again. But the castle for Andy will go up. He has a tower back here. He's getting ballistics. Oh, man, but Sebastian's taking down the mangonels as well. Crazy game. This is why you should never resign early in a game, by the way. That is a 20 villager lead for Andy. Score can play tricks on you. Okay, he just lost a couple more. Whatever. I actually think this is still a very winnable game for him. Sebastian does not have a lot of food eco. He's going full wood spend on crossbows and on siege, and it's working. Here he wants to place a castle to pressure the main TC from Andy. I like the energy. And even more than that castle, I like this castle because that actually denies the gold. Also, when you take down Andy's market, you're loving life because he relies on it so heavily. This pressure from Sebastian is relentless. And there was no siege nearby for Andy. He's got a mangonel over here, chasing down this 1 crossbow, which has been a pest. But that's it. He needs a siege here now. And you can't counter castle because they're sieging crossbows. He can't take these farms. He can't take this gold. Sebastian's just completely smothering him. This is what Sebastian does. Sebastian floods the map with army. And he has really consistent smooth eco behind. It's the level that was able to qualify for Red Bull and take down the Viper in that qualifier. That was the thing that Viper struggled with, is just how much military Sebastian always has. Sometimes at the expense of his economy numbers. But what is economy for? Economy is for military. And he's got the military. So he's got plenty of time to sort out the economy. We got movement over here from Sebastian. Outposts on the right, knowing Andy might escape. He's eating this town center. Here he's got the crossbows. Surely he makes a mistake. Finally, Andy's able to take some good engagements. But he's spotted over here. So I think if Sebastian notices that, he could continue to move along. And he continues to move right into the base. This is over, I think. And he never had military. He tried Cav Archer, and then it clearly wasn't going to work. Maybe he could have tried Elite Skirmisher. Or maybe Siege a little faster, Defensive Towers a little faster. But it's what you get with FreakinAndy. It's what makes him so dangerous, because he is unique in that sense. Castle from Sebastian now to take the gold away. Andy has had no gold for so long. He's just now able to get the guard tower upgrade. But even if Sebastian can't push any further here, I think he's fine. And you'll see it. The second that Sebastian isn't constantly microing, you'll see his farms go up. You'll see his food count skyrocket. But Andy's still alive. He doesn't have this gold, which is a problem. He does now have this gold, I guess. Siege micro from Sebastian is still unbelievable. Sebastian is slowly just taking down the range, taking down the blacksmith, can take down the houses. More ranges from Andy. Maybe he could escape down here for some gold, but even that seems pretty risky. Food count's starting to climb for Sebastian. Sebastian doesn't see any of this. He clearly is just looking for map control. He's like, where is Andy right now? He's like, he's nothing. The only area he doesn't have vision on is here. And he would be correct. There's some movement coming that direction. The cav archers are always going to die there. Either when they run away from the castle or if the crossbows are there. But okay, small counterattack from Andy. There's a chance maybe. He is on gold and Sebastian doesn't see him there. But he's running away here. He's trying to flee and Sebastian sees him as well. Sebastian is playing so good. And the castle will catch most of those vills. Sebastian waits till the last second. Drops a couple houses. And yeah, the crossbows will find it. Sebastian didn't actually notice this. But he's still microing here. And the micro is just so good. It's so good. All those vills are dead. Okay, here is the only area that Sebastian hasn't dealt with. The fact that Andy has just made it to some stone and gold again. 95 villagers versus 87 now. So Sebastian's caught up big time with the villager count. And Sebastian, he sees the vills. He'll see the vills were there with his villagers as they're dying. He's worried about a push, so he'll drop a castle here. And he would drop a tower here. And now it's like all hands on deck. Everyone shows up to this area. Ideally, Andy could drop a castle on his face right here. And it could be the start of something, but he doesn't have the stone for it. As Sebastian's micro is too good for this. It's too good. You know he's going to clear it. He's got his crossbows up here on the hill. The mangonel for Andy isn't moving in just yet. Sebastian continues with the micro. He'll take the mangonel. He'll deny the tower. It's game over, dude. He is locked in right now. This is what I'm saying about Sebastian, man. He's so good. He's so good. I think the previous map was just a map that he's fairly weak on. Still went late game. But what a beautiful job of playing this map. Controlling all the sides, all the slopes. Things got really messy here. Andy had a really strong start. Andy was definitely ahead in Feudal Age. Andy was ahead to Castle Age. But it's a beautiful turnaround. As Sebastian's on the way to Imp. Sebastian has access to every single resource. He's got the forward castle, which can just make trebs. Andy will fight. I think if he doesn't call the GG in the next 60 seconds, he'll call it in 70 when he sees Sebastian hits him. But he's got to fight because it's important to get every win. As we've been saying, right? Couple defensive towers there from Sebastian. Can't actually break any of this in Castle Age. Would need to be an imp anyways. Beautiful attack ground there. And Andy will lose his counter-attacking army. Sebastian up to 30 on food now, so skirms with how cheap they are with the Incas is a very good option. And I think we will see the GG in 3, 2, and 1 for FreakinAndy. What a series, though. What a series. That was awesome. That was awesome. I think Andy should look at this with a lot of positives because he actually went up against Sebastian, who's very good on this type of map, and he had chances here. I think Andy can look at this and he can recreate the opening and maybe have a better follow-up. I really do. It's a common trap. The Japanese cav archer play, it hasn't been working out because it just takes so long to mass. Maybe Magyars could do it because Magyars produce them 20% faster, but like it feels like you have to have more army. Beautiful play from Sebastian. A good opening series. I think both players are okay with this because neither player got swept. But obviously, Andy will have to step it up, get more wins in the next rounds. Sebastian maybe wants to make a push for the top 3, and we'll do the same. But I expect both of these players to be in the running and in the conversation on potential playoffs in the group. Especially if they play like that, I think they'll be serious contenders. So good stuff to see.